This is the first question. Oh, I forgot, sir. Sorry, I forgot today recording. Oh, okay. Fine. In Spring, it internally uses actuator slash refresh for pushing the dynamic configuration in the live instance. Okay. Just like what I'll go is just for 5 minutes, guys. I'll repeat, guys, because just now recording is started. I forgot actually. Somehow going forward, I'll manage this. But you people also can remind me, please. Okay, going forward, I will never miss the recording. Somehow I missed it actually today. Just I will repeat for the purpose who joins to this particular things. Okay. So the config server is a new topic which I am discussing here. So what exactly a config server is? In a development life cycle, we have a large number of microservices and multiple instances of these microservices are running with a different configurations. Whenever you need to change a particular configuration, by default, you need to manually restart these microservices. You need to manually restart these microservices. And with config server, we can use typically an automated approach here. Typically, we can use an automated approach here. Okay. With config server, we can use automated approach to this particular task here. Okay. And generally, one important point is we no need to manually restart it. The framework will take care of pushing the dynamic configuration in a live stream. Okay. So in Spring, it internally, it's only Spring, sir. It's not about other config server. Spring Cloud config server is there already. It internally uses actuator slash refresh. It internally uses actuator slash refresh for pushing the dynamic configurations in the live instance. If we change any configuration for microservice, we can use, just like we can use a Git or a file system or a database store for maintaining the configuration, which can be managed by the config server. Okay. So in this context, we have two interview questions, guys. The first interview question is it a viable task or is it a performance wise? It's a viable where actuator slash refresh, does it going to have any performance impact? That's the first question. Which one is feasible? Git or a file system or a database? Which one is feasible? This is another interview question. This is the 2 points here. Maybe if you have any thoughts, you can let me know. Otherwise, I can discuss what is my opinion on this. Okay. Anyone, any things you want to add to that particular interview questions? 2 questions I told, right? Any idea from anyone?
Sir, yeah, like for this actuator, do we need to add any dependency?
Yeah, exactly. We need to add a dependency, sir. Actuator dependency, which we need to add. But in the latest version of Spring, whenever you take config server, right, sir? Or whenever you take Eureka, right, it internally takes actuators. Manually, you no need to take it. Okay. Sometimes in some versions, we have a conflict. That time you need to add manually, but sometimes it will take it. Okay.
Uh,
Yes.
means
We have a
means after three latest means Spring Boot version.
2.7,
Which
2.7
okay,
onwards. But
okay.
sometimes it is not taking, sir. Sometimes. I don't know what could be the sometimes. Whenever you find that where actuator slash refresh is not a valid endpoint, when we add manually, that time it is working even in the latest version also. It all depends on at runtime, different versions, different jars. But actually, actuators are default endpoints of this particular config server or Eureka. Sometimes if it is not taking, you need to add manually actuated dependency. Okay. Yeah. Harsha, or you're clear, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now, coming back to the first question, which is feasible, sir? Git or file system or database? Why?
Git.
Sir,
I think Git
yeah.
is suitable.
Why?
Because there is some
This version control system over the filing system.
it is.
And it is collaboratable, centrally accessible than filing system.
Okay. I can access centrally database. I can access centrally a file system also, where I'll share that file and I can use anywhere if it is in network. But Git is, if I click URL, it will accessible. In a file system also, I can create a network path. I can mount the path, and with that path, I can access. Database also, I can access central. Okay. Second point, versioning control. Okay. Git is having a versioning control where I can check what is the previous version or what is our current version. But if I feel that versioning control is not a requirement for me, versioning control is not a requirement for me. I need a best aspect apart from versioning. Versioning I don't require. Maybe if you feel that versioning I don't require, maybe I'll create a document. Version 1, these are the changes. Version 2, these are the changes. Version 3, these are the changes. Like I'll document it. Maybe just like I'm giving a example. Okay.
Sir, if we use Git, the file will be available on the server itself. But if we use file system or database, we have to make a network connection and then we have to get the data.
Yeah. By default, sir. Yeah. The idea is performance. Is when I use a Git, the complete configuration is available on the config server, which is pointing to Git. Okay. The main advantage with Git is if I do any change, Git plugin, there is a Git plugin which has a capability of sending a trap to, I can take a Jenkins or I can take any of the event. Okay. The main point here, sir, whenever I am changing configuration, that means I go to one server or I go to one microservice where I'm changing. Automatically in a CI/CD pipeline, in a DevOps CI/CD pipeline, okay, whenever there is a change in Git, automatically we can have a post build where we will do a build with that change and we'll send a communication to the development team, right? The build is done, success or failed, whatever it may be, right? So there is an event communication between Git and our build process. Okay. So Git is the advantage. Wherever in a file system or a database, you should have a cron or some kind of you need to build that automated activity. Whenever there is a change, it should reload the actuator / refresh or something like that. So Git is a best mode where automatically the plugin is available, which can push the change to our microservice. Understand, right? This is an important point here. Okay. And second question is actuator / refresh. By default, sir, yes, it's an additional headache where it should call an endpoint. And assuming that I have 100 or 30 microservices, okay, and a change in one microservice, it should check which microservice is changed and it should update that microservice. It should update that microservice. So little bit of background on identifying which property is changed, which microservice it should be recycled, and do we have any dependency with that microservice? Something like it is in out of control. For example, at that time itself, I am making an event. At that time itself, I am making an event. Okay. and one developer is doing a change. In the meanwhile, customer is testing something or someone is testing something. If both can happen at parallel, and at that time we may have a error may come in our real testing. So it is not a practical viable approach to push a dynamic configuration via actuator/refresh. What is the advantage? A lot of people thinking that it is pushing on its own. Okay. But rather than that, if I do a change, I know which microservice I'm doing. I will take in a config server. Okay. But I'll restart it manually. Only that microservice I'll restart it manually so that it's somewhat a control on my side, as well as it no need to check any other aspects. So performance wise, we need to think of if the large number of microservices are there, if a change in one microservice, it should identify that microservice and it should bounce it automatically, and it will not check any currently any order is in progressing or any currently anything is in progress. It should verify that actually. It will not verify that automatically. The current any traffic is there, any network traffic is the current system, it will be impacted. That is one of the known issues. It's a known issue which you need to handle. But if you don't use the actuator/refresh, then it will manual reset is also a good option. So these are debatable points, guys. This is my perspective on these two things. These are my perspective. If interviewer also, it's not mandatory that, hey, Vijay told means it's a golden truth. No, this is, we usually follow the best practices in our real time, and thought of sharing, this might be a best practice. I'm not telling that this is the only best practice. This might be a best practice. Understand that, guys? Here, everyone is clear? Or any questions on this? Deva Jyoti, I don't know why you raised a hand. Please go ahead.
Sir. Yeah, sir, I'm clear with this part. But first of all, I couldn't join for probably last 7 or 8 days because I went to my native place, and because there was no internet connection, so that's why. But I go through all of your recordings. On the basis of that, on yesterday's class, I had just one doubt. Now, you allow me when I'll ask the question whether this is the right time or end of the class. That time I'll ask you.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good point, sir. First of all,
and second point, sir, another one, sir. I have not received the Google Class link where you are daily updating the class notes and everything. So could you please share that link also? And my third point is that you remember one day there was a Zoom problem, right? So either 20 or 21. So any of, I mean, those 2 days, it was completely stopped class, or any one day the class has taken place? Any idea? Because 20 and 21, I have not received any lecture, any recording.
Okay. Yeah. You're done with the questions?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thanks for allowing me.
Yeah, sure. So, my humble request, okay. At what time you joined today?
So 7:20.
Okay.
I'm really sorry. I'm late today.
No. First of all, we are not in a stage. I don't know. Please don't use the sorry word. Okay. It's my humble request. Don't use. Okay. We are professionals, right?
Yeah.
We are professionals. Yeah. That's the point here. So my common practice, it's a best practice. Just like think you are a day, I mean, just like you think in a perspective, my best practice, I want to make sure whenever at the starting of the class, okay, or if my session is going to end in 10 minutes, at that time, you can put this question. That may be a best practice. I'm telling that only ask at the starting or at the end. It's a best practice. Okay. because other people, right? It will, I mean, currently it is going to just only when we are going in one track, right? Just like that's the
Makes
only
sense.
one suggestion.
That's why I
It's
asked.
only one suggestion.
Whenever
Yeah,
you
that's
allow
fine.
me,
Next
I
point.
can.
Yeah, it's not about allowing or not allowing. Okay, as a point of a class, just I'm mentioning my point here. Okay, next point is everyone, not only Debajyoti. Kindly, I'm requesting to join at the right time. Even if you could not join, that's no issues. First of all, maybe I sincerely appreciate lot of participants, not only Debajyoti, and last time also I saw Vishwanath or someone. I forgot the name. Okay, they didn't join the classes, but they followed the recording sessions and attending the classes. Really happy to hear that, first of all, because when you miss a classes and again coming back to the recording sessions and listening and coming back, it's really, I'm happy with that. Okay, so second point. Okay, now by default, Google Classroom, right, sir? So unless until you join in the class, or okay, or you may be something like because I don't have any other contact apart from this, right, guys? Okay, so my intention was, yes, I can only give if you ask in the class, right? I'm giving this. Maybe I'll mention a point here. If anyone didn't get a link, maybe I'll mention in a send an email.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If anyone did not get Google Classroom link, kindly send me an email. I will share the link. This is not for you people, anyone only joining recording sessions. No, if you are not joining physically to classes and you didn't get a chance, you can use this link. Okay, this is the second point. Okay, you are clear, right? I've shared it. Next. Yeah. So third point is just like we can allow, I mean, because I sincerely agree and I need to, my point is I'm really happy that you listened all my recording sessions. And with that context, guys, maybe I'll take up the questions this time. Please don't mind others. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Whatever the question you have in the yesterday's class or any other classes, go ahead.
Could you please open the big picture of this one? What should I say? This API gateway.
Okay, API gateway. Then it's not yesterday's class.
No, sir. Yesterday's only. Yesterday's only. I'll just ask because
yesterday end of the day, yesterday only talked about load balancer. API gateway. I didn't
yeah, because load balancing end of the day will fit into API gateway only, right? That's why.
Okay, fine. Yeah, this is.
Yeah. So, sir, yeah. So what is happening? Request is coming to API gateway. API gateway is navigating that one to discovery. Discovery is going to registration and get the details, and accordingly it is routing the to the proper URL, right? Now, when load balancer is taking place, let's say order service. Now, could you please go to the next slide? I mean, where exactly you have shown only the load balancing, correct? Now, what is happening is probably order service is having total 4 services. Now, if I think from a cloud perspective, because at the end of the day, we are going to host this one into cloud only, right? As I have knowledge in AWS, so thinking on AWS perspective. So these 4 services, 4 instances, these are only EC2 instances, right? Now, these EC2 instances are going to club or map inside this load balancer, right? Now, load balancer feature is not a microservice. It's a cloud feature, cloud service, right? Where all those 4 services are getting mapped, right? Now, inside that registration service, right? Earlier, what we were doing, we were using @Eureka client in the microservice level, and registration is going on for the registration purpose inside the registration service, right? Now, in this case, as load balancer is not a Java code or a Spring Boot code, it's solely a cloud service. Now, how this mapping, I mean, how this at the rate Eureka client, this mapping will be useful over here. I mean, where this exactly annotation will be used in a microservice level or anywhere else?
Okay, got it. It's a good question. Yeah. So by default, sir, first point, okay, whether it's a cloud or on-prem, the behavior does not change. In my perspective, cloud, what is a cloud? Sir, I don't have a computer with me. Please, I'm telling in a layman words. Okay. I don't have a computer with me. I am taking my computer on rental basis. That is me cloud. Okay. But whatever the code, if I have a computer, if I'm taking rental computer, doesn't differ anything. Maybe rental computer give me some steps. Hey, create a S3 bucket here and keep your code there, and create a EC2 instance and run the code there. They will give me some steps and take this feature, do this step. Okay.
Yeah.
So the behavior will not change. If cloud, this behavior, if it is your computer, this behavior, this will never change. Maybe the process of uploading the code, running the code, that will differ, and that should have a knowledge on that cloud provider, right? So that's the first point I want to update. Second point, okay, right. Now in a cloud perspective, sir, my Angular or React, that front end is in cloud, assuming that, okay. Maybe can I draw a diagram? Okay, maybe if you didn't understand, I'll go to the diagrams. First, I'll explain. If you're not able to follow, then I'll go to diagram. Okay. Just like to save the time. That doesn't mean that saving the time means I'm not going to. If you didn't understand, then I'll go to diagram. Okay. Right. If my Angular is and React is in cloud, my Spring Boot is in cloud, and my config server, my load balancer is in cloud. Everything is on cloud. Assuming that, because you ask a question on cloud. Now all the things are in cloud. Okay. Now ideally, my Angular or React code will point to gateway URL by default. Okay. If load balancer is there or if load balancer is not there, it will point to the registration, gateway only by default.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me explain. Okay. Give me 5 minutes, then I'll take a question. Okay. Right. Now, when the request comes to gateway, for example, I want to make a call order service. Angular or React, I want to hit a order service API. That's my target, where my order services are. 4 instances are available. Right. How it is going to be there? I have everything in cloud. Okay. I clicked on React UI, click on order button. Something I clicked it, and that should go to any one of the order service instance. That is my scenario. Okay. Right. Now, first it will come to gateway. What gateway does? Any cross-cutting concern, if you have authentication, authorization, or URL verification, or any other things, some common cross-cutting concern, it will verify that. And if all the checks are passed, then it will query the discovery service. Okay. And in the discovery service, as I mentioned here, I will use a load balancer on the order service. I have a load balancer. What is the functionality of a load balancer? Is whenever a request comes to me, load balancer is, I gave an example of a technical manager. I need a manager here. Okay. What the task I will get it? Any task comes to me, I will balance that request. I'll make sure that balancing the load. My functionality is, I have some functionality, okay, where any request comes, either any of these three, sticky session, round robin, or CPU utilization, the third party or AWS or third party load balancer, anything you take. My code is, I need to route the request to or 10 instance, 11 instance, 12 instance, 13, 10, 11, 12, 13, any of the instance. Okay. So gateway will query the discovery service and discovery service route it to load balancer. And load balancer will route it to the respective microservice. Okay. Now, when we talk about annotation point of view, enable gateway. By default, enable gateway, that is taking care of cross-cutting concern validations as well as authentication authorization, as well as querying the discovery service and routing to load balancer. These all things are taken care by enable Eureka service and enable gateway. These two annotation does the task. Okay. Our Spring Eureka server and gateway making sure that the request will reach to load balancer. And load balancer duty is, as I get a request, I will shift the load. Okay. Where it will make into order service 1, order service 2, order service 3, order service 4. Okay. So where either using sticky session or round robin or CPU utilization. Based on these four, any of the three criteria, it is going to that particular instance. So the load balancer is whether it's a cloud load balancer or a third party load balancer, or I can write my own code also on the load balancer. My only task is I get a request. I'll have a hash map or a tree map or something like where I will route the request to any of these 4 requests. That is my responsibility of a load balancer. So this is the big picture for your question.
Yeah, I understand, sir, but probably thanks for explaining, but probably I'm not able to represent my question. Could you please scroll down a little bit? What my question is? Could you please scroll down a little bit in this PPT only? Just scroll down.
One second.
Yeah, sir. What is happening is order service 1, 2, 3, 4. These are microservice. Let's understand the component. These are the microservice, right? Load balancer is a cloud component. It's not a microservice. Discovery service, API gateway, these two, and registration service. These 3 are clubbed together and it's a microservice, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now,
correct.
Sir, inside registration service, like cart service, product service, payment service, these 3, okay, these 3 doesn't have any load balancer. So these 3 are individual microservices, and on these microservices, at the rate enable Eureka client or something like an annotation is present over there. So these annotation helps us to dynamically map those services or the entire route details inside the registration service only, right?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
No. Here, just add me one thing. Here, the load balancer is for each services. There is one load balancer individually.
Hold on. Let me ask my question. Okay. Let me ask my question. Now, sir, what is happening is, so these are the microservices. So microservices are able to registration themselves dynamically using that annotation only and enable Eureka client or something like that. Now, let's come to the order service picture where load balancer is associated. Okay. For those one, what is happening is those 4 are clubbed together and mapped inside a load balancer, right? Now, if I look at the registration part, I will not able to see order service. What I'll able to see is I'll able to see the order service load balancer details over here, right? As you have cut that one and written that one at the bottom. Now, my question is, as order service load balancer is not a microservice, so how it will map itself inside the registration part? Do I need to do this one manually or any annotation will help that one? Because this part, this load balancer thing is...
I got it. Actually, I got it. I mean, this is what I explained, but I try to explain once again. Okay. First point is load balancer is not a microservice, which is correct. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Now, discovery service. What is the duty? I got this task. Go to this particular server. Hit this server. That is a discovery server response.
Mhm.
Okay. That's why intentionally I created this diagram. Intentionally I created this diagram where I have 4 microservices. 3 microservices doesn't have load balancer. Only 1 microservice is having load balance. How the things will change, especially I created this diagram. Okay. So what is the point here is we will register our LB URL only host name and IP address as well as port number. Okay. To registration service. Okay. So, sir, by default, you have a it is not a microservice. Your question is, it's not a microservice at all. Okay.
Correct.
Enable Eureka service. Generally, you are going to write it, right? By default, sir, you need to have a ribbon, some kind of ribbon. Okay. Or some kind of load balancing configuration. You need to write that annotation, right? Enable elastic ribbon, or if you are using any third party one, okay? It also should be a separate microservice. It should be a microservice that has a Eureka client dependency. That it should have a Eureka client dependency. Okay? Because anyhow, load balancer means whether you can take cloud load balancer or your own load balancer. Some code, some jar will be there, right? Load balancer jar will be there, right? That also should be a microservice. It should have a Eureka client dependency. And whenever I start it, okay, why I told it's not a microservice means it does not have any capability for me. The capability is I need to register this to Eureka registry. I need to register that. That's the only intention for me. Okay. Where if any discovery finds it, it should route to that particular traffic because I want to register that LB URL to the Eureka registry. That's the only intention. For that purpose, I'm going to write enable Eureka client dependency. Where when I start this load balancer, it will register that service to Eureka. That's the only one point.
Now my question is where this enable Eureka client will be fit into, because for cart service, it is on the microservice level. Now for the load balancer, where it will be?
Yeah, it will be, I'm going to create one, whatever the load balancer component you use, right, sir? You are going to use some load balancer component, right?
Correct.
Where you will tell in the load balancer, hey, 110.110.110.110. This is my computer. I will write some configuration, right? Where these are the 4 instances, 10, 11, 12, 13. I need to write some configuration, right, in the load balancing side.
Yeah, that I understand. Those four order service 1, 2, 3, 4 will map into the load balancer. That's fine.
What I do is, one second, sir. Wait. 1 second, please listen. Okay. Wherever you write that configuration, you'll write somewhere else the configuration, right? I will create a microservice with that configuration. What is your microservice? I'll create that at the rate of Spring Boot application. Okay. And some jar or var, whatever it may be, I'll keep in my class path or whatever it may be. And in that class path, I will write enable Eureka client. And I will register that 110 and 9090, making sure that when I need to run this load balancer, right? I need to invoke the load, I need to run whatever the load balancer jar or var, I need to run that, right? While running that, I will include Eureka client. Internally for me, it's a load balancer is a one more microservice whenever I have a load balancer. That's the intention. Okay.
Got it, sir. But this load balancer is created manually by us, right?
Manually by us. Yes, manually by us. Yes.
But if I think of a load balancer, let's say AWS is providing the load balancer and we are going to use that one. In that case,
Okay.
how will we use that one?
Yeah, they have given a UI, sir. They will give a UI for you. Okay. When
Okay.
you are creating a load balancer, okay, that
Uh-huh.
time they will give an UI. Where is your registration service and what is the port number and all those details you need, they will provide a UI. And you need to
Okay.
submit that.
Oh,
They will
okay.
spin up. Yeah. It's a on-demand request. You need to pay
Got it.
for that.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay. Now my next question
It's a
is,
very,
if
very,
we are,
one second. One
yeah.
second. So, guys, everyone is clear what is the question and what is the answer I gave? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, my next question is, then if we are going to use load balancer directly from a cloud service, okay, at that
Mhm.
time we don't need to use then at the rate enable Eureka
Nothing.
client,
No
neither
need.
at the
No need.
microservice level, nor at
No
nowhere we
need to
have
use.
to use that one, right?
We no need to use, but
Yeah.
internally the load balancer provider, cloud provider should, they may use they enable Eureka client or whatever it may be. They
Yeah,
will
yeah, but
make
we
sure
don't
that
have
they
to
will
manually.
correct. That is the
Yeah.
point here. Yes.
Yeah. That's now I have a 360-degree view, sir. Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Perfectly
Thank
correct.
you, sir. Yeah.
Perfectly
And when
correct.
we can expect the code, sir, to hands dirty?
Tomorrow only. Okay.
Okay.
But this load balancer, right, sir? Whatever
Uh-huh.
you will get a picture. But whatever the question you asked me, right? We cannot have that kind of that sort of code action where we need to have AWS account and the load balancer. Those the licensing cost is involved. It's
Mhm.
only you can visualize this. But with just like I can showcase where is my gateway, how these things are connected. I'm going to have a code where you'll understand clearly. Whatever the
Yeah.
question you asked, right? You need to get only in your real time if your company is investing money on the AWS where they are having a dynamic load balancing. It's a licensing is very cost. Okay.
Yes.
Very
Yes.
few
Can
companies
use free
can
tire.
accommodate.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Sir,
Just
we
like I'm
can use
giving a
free tire,
clear.
sir.
Sorry.
Sir, we can use free tire.
Free tire it doesn't provide, sir. This capability is not there in free tire.
Sir, ELB is there, sir, for free.
But dynamic is not there, sir. Dynamic is not there. Just try it actually. Okay, as per my knowledge, this dynamic load balancer with a UI where it should point me to whatever the question here,
Sir,
it should
dynamic
register.
meaning elastic. Elastic, it will be providing the elastic load balancing service.
Sir, don't take only one word, sir. My point is, okay, can I get a AWS on a trial period where it should give me a dynamic load balancer which should register my Eureka registry with a UI. It has its own UI. That is the point I'm looking.
Sir,
If
it
at
will
all, if you
provide,
can have,
sir, I think so.
yeah, if you have, any thoughts on that? You can share anything here. I'll make it actually. In my perspective, it is not available. It's only on licensing cost. They will expose that UI and they will share. They will create a VPN subnet mask and they will share that URL after our payment is completed. But if I'm wrong, I may be wrong here. Please provide any kind of you can have any things insights to that. Then you can provide me. I can take a look and I'll update. What is my requirement? It should call my Eureka registry. It should call. I should give a UI, or I should give a place where I need to provide. This is my registration URL. This is my port number. You spin up your load balancer and should call this particular service to the LB. If you have that kind of, maybe I'm mistaking, maybe I'll double check and I'll update. But if you have anyone, this is my perspective, sir. I'm telling that I'm right here. I'm looking. Yes, if it is not, if you have any further thoughts, you can bring my attention. I'll go through that. If it is really ready, I'll create an example and share it. Is that fine? Ansari, is that clear?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Maybe
Yeah,
Okay,
sir, could you please upload the previous slide? If you just go back to the
already
previous.
uploaded. I uploaded, sir.
No,
Just
sir,
now, this is
the
just
previous
go
one, sir. I'm just telling you on this one. Wait. Where
uploaded I'll show you, sir. I'll show you.
yeah.
This is I uploaded yesterday.
So this is one and another one is there.
Which one? API gateway also uploaded.
Yeah, but you had created another registry pattern one, right? That one is not available, sir. Notes on
This one?
registry pattern. Yeah. So this is not
Oh.
available.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right now I'll upload it. And I'll upload this also.
Yeah.
But I have some more things actually. I only added small. This I'll upload tomorrow, sir, because I only wrote this here. Okay?
Yeah.
I will add some more things and I'll upload here. So registry pattern. Yeah. I didn't upload a registry pattern here.
No, sir.
Okay. It's yeah. Thank you.
Sir, so what's the plan? Whatever we have learned so far, we are going to have
Write
a
a
coding
code.
session.
We are code. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
yes.
after that,
we
we'll pick Saga, CQRS, those things later on, or in this
all
session.
those, yeah, one by one.
So theory
First,
part
my
is
intention.
complete then.
Almost theory part is coming. I mean, theory part in the sense, guys. If at all Saga is there, again I need to explain what is Saga.
Yeah.
If event-driven
Saga
architecture is there,
then
I need
again
to
we have to, yes.
yeah, that's theory plus hands-on. Okay. Registry pattern. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Sir, one weekend, could you please explain in any of the webinar that you have already noted down? I have seen that one. That's already JWT is done. But SAML and all those part, how this is related to JWT or what's the difference? That part is really clumsy for me. I don't know for others whether it is or not. If you can.
Your question is JWT versus SAML?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, anyhow, I'll take it. Okay. Right.
Okay,
yeah.
sir.
Someone is asking me solid principles. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Any other thoughts also,
one
guys?
question. Yeah, one question, sir. Has JWT session happened? If it is happened, is it on the YouTube?
Yes. On the live section, you will be getting that one on the Ashok IT YouTube channel.
No, yesterday I checked, but I didn't find it yesterday.
No, I found that one. I can share the link with you all. Hold on. Sir is finding. Yeah. Sir is finding. This is the one. Correct. Probably heading is something else, and that's why people are not able to find it out.
Yeah. I'll share this. Yeah, heading is somehow. Actually, I don't know why the heading. I clearly mentioned JWT to include. A lot of people are searching with this.
Okay. Yes. Sir, have we done any kind of coding session over here? I have not gone through the full lecture.
No. I didn't get a time actually.
Can you just share that link in the chat?
I'm sharing.
Sir, so next weekend, any coding exercise can we expect?
Why? I mean, maybe I'll share here. I mean, I'll take a class for us. Okay. I don't know what could be the point here. If at all, if there is a things are there, I'll share. Okay.
Okay. So in this, at the end, in this class only, we can expect a coding session on this one as well.
Yeah. If at all, if I'm not able to complete, if I'm not able to do any webinar. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If I take a webinar, you can do that. Okay. If I don't take any webinar, I can. Okay. Yes, but don't expect me. Can you teach React and can you teach those?
No, sir. No. Nothing. That's a huge.
I'm telling topic. My own. Okay. Yeah. It's a huge topic. Okay. Yeah. So this design pattern, right, sir? These are design patterns, right? Expectation will be very huge, and I have a target which I should the timeline. Okay. But when you go to a particular topic, right, it will go to a number of levels. And We need to make sure that how best I can provide. That's the only point is I need to at least I need to meet the expectation. That's the only point I'm trying my level best. Okay, we'll see that. Yeah. The intention is first let me complete whatever I have. Then if anything are there on Sundays, I'll take a webinars. I will add that point. My initial target is whatever the course content I have, I need to finish that. Okay, as per the expectation. That is what I want to do. Okay.
Yes. And sir, when
Thank you,
can we
guys.
expect this JWT versus SAML and all those security? Just to an overview.
Sir, anything, sir. I'll update, sir. Okay.
Okay.
At this moment, I don't know the timeline and order. Okay.
Mhm.
Whenever I have a webinar and there is a lot of orders there. Okay. And based on the timings and based on the whatever the load on my side and Ashok Etty side, I don't have any timeline, sir. But definitely I will take it. Okay.
Okay. Sir. Okay.
For you, SAML and JWT is important. For other persons, solid principles are important. For other persons, they're expecting a UI integration. For other person, so I need to take all the expectations. Okay. Definitely I'm going to take it, but I cannot know the timings. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, guys. Have a great day.